Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Meta Cafe. Grab your cup of coffee or tea and sit back. Let's chat about what is happening up in the stars. Happy new moon to everybody. The moon turned new at 3:37 a.m. my time. That would be 6:37 a.m. East Coast time. So we are now in the energy of the new, able to set goals for taking action on new things, determining what it is that we want to manifest or bring into life or breathe life into. And things are highly energetic. Sorry, left my phone on this morning. So there is a lot of high energy going on because the moon and the sun coming together. We're literally on top of Venus and Mars, and they are all trining Uranus. Mercury not far behind within orb. I'm going to show you the chart because the chart I looked at this morning and I was like, wow, no wonder everybody's feeling the heat. Look at that. Now I highlighted a T-square because we're going to talk about that one, but there's a kite in here. There's the mystic rectangle in here. The mystic rectangle, you see here, you've got the long sides of the rectangle and then the short sides, and you see what really makes a mystic rectangle pop is the opposition points that create the X marks the spot right there in the middle of the chart. The T-square I've outlined here in green, and there's a kite. There's lots going on, a lot to talk about. But we've already talked about most of the energy that comes up now for the new moon. And there's this one spot in your chart in Virgo where now we have this pile of planets, and that spot is hot and it's earthy. Hot and earthy. We have a lot hot because there's a lot of planets, right? And the sun and Mars together are fire, right? Hot in the earth. So whatever is hot in fire is creative energy. It is the spark of life. It is really juicy and wanting and begging for action. And in the Virgo earth energy, you can take that action. You can make things happen. And that is exactly where it is we find ourselves at this moment in time. So let's take a moment and say good morning to everybody. Good morning, Colleen and Lynn. Nice to see you. Victoria, great to see you. She says, yay, I caught a live video or a live broadcast. Jan, good morning and happy new moon, everyone. Lynn says good morning. Angela, good morning and happy to be here. We're happy to see all of you out there this morning. I love it when people can join us, especially when we have a long weekend here. If you live in the United States, I don't know if other countries do this, but we have Labor Day this weekend. It is the last hurrah of summer, and the kids all go back to school starting Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, and life returns to normal, kind of what the moon is even telling us, right? What is normal? Well, it is getting back to work. It is getting your hands in the dirt and actually doing something, building something, molding something. What is it that you want to create? It's time to take action on those creations. So today, new moon in Virgo all day long. No void of course moon today. Trining Uranus. That puts an unexpected piece into the picture, right? Sort of a surprise, something maybe, I don't know, out of the blue, right? Electrical. So not necessarily bad things happen. Someone asked that question one time, and I just like to remind people that Uranus brings surprises, but not all surprises are bad, right? Sometimes it's things you don't expect and it's a problem, and other times it is something really exciting and lucky that happens. Today, the moon is conjunct the sun. That's what a new moon is. It is also conjunct Mars and Venus, trining Saturn, squaring Jupiter, and opposing Neptune. That is why you see all of these lines in here. And of course, you've got 5 planets right now that are aspecting all these various parts of the sky, which is why there is so much energy. And you know, don't worry if you're feeling lost or confused also in the midst of this new moon, because when you have that many moving chess pieces on the board, it can create a little bit of confusion. And Neptune in it of course, does create that possibility that we're confused or that we don't know exactly yet what it is that we want to do. So I would encourage you, if you're one of the people out there, I'm sort of feeling this too myself. So you're not alone if you're feeling confused, like, wow, everybody else knows exactly what to do, where to go, and how to do it, and I'm totally sort of lost. Sit down with a piece of paper and a pen, or sit at your computer screen here and with a blank Word document or a notepad open, and write down some thoughts that you have about what direction you might want to take. What is it that, the universe seems to be pushing you to create, and just sort of make a plan. You don't have to stick with the plan. That's the nice thing about plans. They're mobile, right? You can make different plans. But if you don't have a base plan, like if I want to get from A to B, and I can see that there's maybe a river, some rocks, and they're in my way of getting direct line there, then I can plan for how I'm going to get there. Okay, so I'm going to go from A to 1A, and then I'm going to move around that, and then I'm going to keep going. So sit down with your pencil and pen or whatever and write a plan. And then don't forget that plans have obstacles that pop up. So you can rework the plan later as these things pop up. But right now, if you're feeling confused, the best way to do it is to sit down and write out something. The other thing, so yesterday, I don't know what I was doing. I was preparing for the webinar that I did last evening for the Academy members. And at one moment, I just got like way wigged out, like too much going on through my head. And I went, whoa, 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 what am I going to do? So what I did was I went to Insight Timer, one of my favorite meditation tools, and I found a meditation for peace and guided meditation. And I popped in my earplugs, went outside and sat in the cool of the porch and listened to a guided meditation. I would encourage you all to do that as well. If you're feeling confused or this energy has you just, strung out, then do a meditation, do some yoga, take a walk, do something else for the short term. Don't try to keep beating yourself over the head, using your willpower incorrectly to force yourself to get something done. There's a lot of energy out there to do that, but it is also energy that will burn you out. So let's not do that, right? We need this energy to be working for us. Aloha, Jody Van Strat. I love your name. Jody Jekka Van Strat. Aloha. You must be in here calling in from, or joining us from Hawaii, perhaps. Or maybe you're Hawaiian. Mimi, good morning to you. Diana, good morning. Natasha, good morning. Suzanne, good morning. Debbie Hedden, great to see you out there as well. So let's see what else we can talk about. So today, busy, busy, busy day. And you know what? The outer world reflects that to us. We see a giant hurricane, and it is blowing up into a bigger hurricane than they thought it was going to be. I think originally when they were first talking about Dorian, it was going to be a Category 1 perhaps, and there was a thought it wouldn't even come into the U.S., that it would just like flounder around in the ocean out there and fizzle away. And of course, I kind of knew that wasn't going to happen because there's too much energy here. And the nature of the world, the nature of life, is to dispel any of the imbalances. And one way we do that in the climate or in the weather is to create these giant storms that dispel the imbalances created in the heat balance of the planet. That is why when you hear people talk about global warming, that one of the conversations is more intense everything's, right? More intense storms, more intense winters, more intense droughts, more intense hurricanes, tornadoes, fires, floods, etc., because it intensifies everything while the earth is trying to modify everything, right? So we're caught between these forces that seem to be way out of balance, and the way to bring balance is sometimes through a storm. And that happens in your own personal life, right? When you've gotten too far out of whack, what happens? Something over on the weak side happens to cause you to stop, reevaluate, reframe, retool, get moving in the right direction again. That is kind of where we are right now with all of this energy. And this is literally going to be one of the last months as we move into September where we can really be forcefully, I don't want to use that word, where we can really consciously be putting our stuff out there because after we get through September and we start launching into October and November, we begin that process of building up into those titanic forces for 2020. And a lot of the things that there may be a lot of things happening in the world that are totally out of our control. So take your steps now, right? Do what you can now to forge your foundation, to solidify it, to make it stronger, and using all of this energy at your fingertips now to do that and move in that direction before craziness ensues. All of that's just for today. And also, it's with us all through the weekend. It's with us even into next week. Things don't seem to calm down until later in the week next week. Every day, as I looked at the calendar for what's coming up, there's these, connections that these planets are making to one another. Right now, they're all close to a conjunction, but one by one, they all are coming into exact conjunction over the next several days. Particularly of note is Sunday and Monday's energy. And of course, those are the 2 days I think that I heard that the hurricane was scheduled to hit. And I'm a little bit worried, particularly because the moon at that point is in Libra, an air sign, pushing a lot of air around, creating that need to balance. And then the very next day, the moon switches into Scorpio and now comes on the waterworks. And guess what? It's all in a void of course moon, which means it just gets stuck, right? It just stops. Literally from 1:34 a.m. early Monday morning until 4:35 p.m. in the afternoon, all of the energy is just stuck there before it shifts. So winds, air moving, the storm moving in, and then water for the next days after that. So if this becomes a major hurricane, as they say it's going to be, I would expect that it's going to linger and its effects are going to be felt for a while. So be prepared. If you live in that part of the country, do your due diligence as quickly as possible. If they ask you to evacuate, do it. If they tell you to move inland, do it. Get away from danger. Don't dawdle, just do, right? This is really good doing energy. All right, so let's take a deeper look now at Saturday's energy. Tomorrow, the moon is void of course. Of course it is. The moon in Virgo is void of course from 1:46 a.m. to 4:08 p.m. Those are West Coast times, so 4:46 a.m. to 7:08 p.m. Literally all day Saturday. A great day for just messing around, not having any major plans, doing what you want to do, being a little bit lazy. It is a 3-day weekend here, anyway. As it turns out, you can sleep in. We don't even have football games tomorrow with the kids, so it's a freebie. This is a free weekend as far as I'm concerned, right? And then late in the afternoon, the moon will move into Libra. Let's not fast track things. The last aspect the moon makes before it moves on into Libra is a trine to Pluto. That's great for sustainable emotional equilibrium, for transforming something. Maybe rather than today, make tomorrow a good day for sitting down with that paper and pen and making a plan for what energy you want to bring, what you want to express in your life, because it isn't a great day for taking action in any way, right? Not new action anyways. So it's a great day for planning for when the moon again allows us that trajectory forward. Sunday, the moon is in Libra all day. It will be squaring Saturn and sextiling Jupiter. To me, that's a little bit concerning when you have a major hurricane out there, because a square to Saturn just pumps up things. The sextile to Jupiter makes it easier for it to just get out of control. So watch Sunday as well. Mercury is trining Uranus that day. Mercury literally, sort of in my mind, is the planet that often rules the winds, the weather, as far as the wind goes. And the planet Uranus, of course, surprises. Maybe it blows itself out before it gets to the mainland. Wouldn't that be awesome? We can intend that. Because the Mercury trine Uranus can also make things exacerbate anything that's going on in our lives. Venus is also trine Saturn that day. That's really more relationship oriented. It is a good time if you need to sit down with a loved one and have a serious conversation. This is a time where you can do that with heart and with love and affection. And it is, your words are received with that. And also you are on the receiving end of that from another person, perhaps. You still have to watch the Mercury trine Uranus, because words could come out of your mouth that have a surprising effect. So you want to watch how you say what you say. But Venus and Saturn are together there, making it easier for us to say the things that we need to, that work our relationships out, work out those kinks and those knots in our relationships. Okay, a pause here. Debbie Tibbetts-Dumio, good morning. And Linda Crouch-Dennis, good morning to you as well. Victoria, fascinating. Mimi, oh my, may all the folks in Florida take heed and stay safe. Absolutely. Christine Erickson, good morning to you. Joining us likely from Sweden this evening, your time. I guess it's about 5 o'clock-ish your time, Christine. So definitely that Sunday, Monday, we don't ever leave really the orb within orb of, except for the moon moving on. The planets Venus, the Sun, Mars, and Mercury all stay rather clustered together through the whole of the weekend and into early next week. And that just tells me that there's this prolonged high energy, and just be prepared for that, right? You could be expecting mini storms within your own life as well. So I'm going to draw some cards this morning, and we'll take a look at what all of that might mean for us for the weekend. And if anybody also would like card readings this morning, start hitting me up and letting me know, and I'll take names. It is 8:16. Wow, I'm moving through pretty good here. Let's look at Monday's energy, and I'm putting out Monday's energy just in the off chance that I do have a barbecue to go to that day, and I think we're supposed to be there in the morning. It's like an all-day event. So I probably will not be on air on Monday. That is why I'm going through Monday's stuff right now. We are also in another void of course moon on Monday. That is the one I was describing that said, we are left with a lot of wind, a lot of air energy as the moon turns void of course in Libra before it moves into Scorpio and turns on the waterworks, or we have the potential for high water and high wind all in the same time. The last aspect that the moon makes before it moves from Libra to Scorpio is a square to Pluto. That's huge. That's transformational energy. That's raw power. That is raw power, and it stirs up deep emotions, deep wounds, deep hurts. That is also the day the Sun is conjunct Mars, and in the exact conjunction occurs, and Venus squares Jupiter. When Venus squares Jupiter, things are over the top. Over the top. We are spending too much. We are engaged in indulgences of all sorts. And in this, it's that day more than I guess even Sunday that makes me look at the impending storm and go, ooh, ouch, right? Ouch. So that is on Monday. But for most of you who are not living in the Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina area, this could be a really good time. And I hate to juxtapose the potential damage against what the other parts of this energy can mean. The Sun conjunct Mars can make a real high energy impact on whatever it is that you're doing. I mean, obviously you want to take care if you are doing something dangerous. This is not a time to take chances, but it is a time to move forward. And I think in a very big way, there's a lot of potential for us to have some really good things happening, which leads us to September 3rd, which we talked about way back when, back in the early part of the year, as a date to circle on your calendar, because it is a day where there is a ton of energies aspecting each other that create grand trines that create between the planets in Virgo and the planet Uranus, and T-squaring the planet Jupiter, and on and on. I mean, on and on. And we're actually already building this up. It just so happens that on the 3rd, there is a Sun, Mars, Mercury conjunction at 10 degrees of Virgo, and Venus not far beyond that at 16. And it is the one that is sending off all of these energies, just zooming around the chart. I'm going to show you back this picture that we were talking about earlier. And here's another reason why I anticipate trouble with this hurricane, because there's this T-square, and I outlined it here in green so that you could see it. And it begins over here with our planets that are building up to that conjunction in Virgo. In fact, all of these, even though these two look like they're over here in Leo, they're really all concentrated right here in the area of early Virgo. And they're opposing Neptune. Neptune rules the oceans, right? Neptune is literally the planet that can rule storms, storms that generate from the sea. That makes me think of tidal surge and big waves and undercurrents and rip currents and people that are deluded into believing one thing and then the exact opposite happens, and then they pay the price because the T-square is over here to Jupiter. And Jupiter is a planet that magnifies and makes things bigger. In an optimistic standpoint, it makes optimism high. And we like that, right? We like it when we're feeling good and we're feeling, optimistic and the future looks bright. But Jupiter is also indicated in things like tumors and cancers in the body, where a little bit of a cell growth turns into multiplying cell growth that can become something not so good. So Jupiter can expand and exacerbate and exaggerate the effects of something. And in a T-square, the opposite point is in Gemini, and there's nothing in Gemini to help bring the balance point in. So it's sort of pushed to the side over here in favor of Jupiter's expansive qualities. And the only thing I can think of here for us is to, internally, each of us doing the grounding work, right? Bringing our mind into alignment with what we really desire. Do we really, want the destruction of a hurricane? I believe we can affect it. I really do. I believe that by our thoughts, we are creating these things, right? If we're tying into the drama and the highlights of all of this, then maybe we're actually steering it in some ways. Where if we tap into a different level energy, maybe we can even change its trajectory. It is up to us. There's a lot of experiments. Lynn McTaggart, she does a lot of work with these experiments where the people coming together in meditation can affect crime rates, can affect healing in people. And it's really fascinating to do that. So what would all of us coming together, seeing the highest and best outcome from this storm that's just attempting to balance out the climate, what would that look like? So maybe Gemini's energy here, we can focus on the thought processes. What are we thinking about? What are we focusing on? And make it less impactful that way. I believe we can do it, right? It is like one of those factors that you don't factor in. I mean, no newscaster out there is factoring in the fact that people might just have thought processes that they could bring to bear. Can you imagine the weather forecaster going, and everybody out there, let's get together and pray or meditate on this storm and steer it out to sea? I think I would die if I ever heard that. I think I would go, wow, this planet really is in change if I ever heard that, right? But we know that that's possible, and we could affect it in that positive of a direction. And that's not me just being pie in the sky, utopian and Pollyanna, because there are many experiments that show that's exactly true. There's an entire book on chaos theory written. There are theories, the nonlinear dynamics, that show that the littlest change in a system can make for big changes in the outer expression of it. So little changes within you make for big changes outside of you, right? So it's possible. It is totally possible. However, we humans have a tendency to get caught up in the drama, and we amplify the drama and not the weakening of the drama or the minimizing of the drama. So take that for however you want to take that, and see if you want to maybe change the things that you're doing in your life with your mind. Okay, so now we have people asking for card readings, and I'm going to write names down really quickly. Victoria, Jan, Debbie Hedden, Deb H. There we go, Colleen. And Natasha. And Colleen says, interesting, everyone is ignoring Hurricane Erin because she's not supposed to make landfall, just to cause riptides. I didn't even know there was a hurricane named Erin. That is how in the dark I am. Christine says good morning to us, and Kristen Page, good morning to you, sweetie. So, interesting, right? Of course, I'm up here in Washington State. We don't have hurricanes. We just don't. We don't have major, literally, we have a lot of rain, but we don't have rain like through big storms like that, except maybe in the late fall and winter. So sometimes, we're not even getting the news of something like that. In fact, yesterday, I didn't even get the news that there was a big earthquake off the coast here until Debbie, I actually heard it just before Debbie Tibbetts-Tumiel emailed me or texted me and said, big earthquake off the coast of Oregon. And the only reason I had seen that is because I subscribed to this YouTube channel, and it popped up and showed me that there had been an earthquake off the coast. What was weird is that it happened at 7:07 my time yesterday morning. So this was while I was preparing for the morning show yesterday. And I was sitting here, and all of a sudden, all of the dogs in the neighborhood just started barking, howling even. And I heard what I thought was a boom or a bang, like a gunshot or something, right? Like something dropping. I didn't feel anything under my feet. I didn't feel the earth shudder, but I kind of heard or tapped into, but I didn't think it was an earthquake because there's always deer out here in the early morning, and the dogs could have been reacting to that. So I didn't tap into that. And so literally on the news around here, nothing about that earthquake, mostly because it was out at sea and it didn't cause any damage. But there it was nonetheless. Hurricane Erin, I'm not hearing a word about it. You guys even aren't hearing much about it because it's not going to hit. But those are the kind that do help dissipate a lot of the heat in the ocean and help cool the planet down. So they do have a real reason for being here. Kristen, I said hello. Oh, Debbie T. Okay, Deb TT as well. Jody says, Colleen McSpirit, I heard this morning that Dorian absorbed Erin, so they are now one. Ooh, maybe that's why Dorian is going to blow up into a big storm. Good morning, Alisa. Nice to see you. Okay, so now let's go through quickly through the Pleiadian-Earth energies for the next few days. Today is a 3 listening, and 3 energy is the universal energy of the day. So no matter where we are in our solar system, we are resonant with 3 energy. And 3 is about creating, right? Great universal energy to have on this planet right now with the new moon, right? It's just amazing when these things come together like this. Listening energy was Akbal in the Mayan calendar, and Akbal always seemed to be a symbol that resembled the night or the evening. And in there, with listening energy, reminds me that we need to create inner space. So if we have the energy of creating and listening energy takes us to within, then creating inner space. That means maybe letting go of some of the thoughts that are, racing through your mind, letting go of some of your beliefs that hold you to an old paradigm, using empathy and care and nurturing energy to embrace both the people in your world as well as yourself, right? Really hear. Listening implies not just the ears, but taking it in and really understanding and creating that inner space so that you can move somewhere within at a time of craziness without. So great energy for today. Saturday is for planting. 4 is a foundational energy. It is the universal energy of stability, building a foundation. It has very Saturn overtones to it. It's when I think of Saturn, I often think of the number 4, right? Building the 4 walls, or how 4 sides create a stable foundation. So it is about creating stability, But planting energy is high energy that needs to be focused in a direction. And it is in the Mayan calendar, the con, which was representing a seed, which is the planting of something. And what do we do with that, right? It's also a lucky day. I might just find myself out there buying a lottery ticket tomorrow. I don't buy them very often, which is why I don't win the lottery, because I don't play. But tomorrow, it is a lucky day. There's energy, and perhaps it is a day to find yourself in a good situation where luck seems to have played a part, and luck maybe in solidifying your foundation, in preparation for Sunday's energy, which isn't quite that fun. It is more change energy. It is the day 5 moving. 5 is the number of change, and moving, change, moving, exploring, having things happen. It is Chichan in Mayan, which was the snake. That means shedding one's skin, transforming. And then Monday, we have Monday. Monday is 6, transcending. 6 is the number of flow and abundance in everything. Abundant water, abundant wind, abundant money, abundant whatever, right? Experiences. And transcending energy in the Mayan calendar was Chimi or Kimi, which was the death mask. And it didn't portend death, except that it was really transformation, right? Transforming. And in it is this transcending energy, which creates space for us to let go, let God, surrender. Sounds a little bit like our Neptune and Black Moon Lilith that are coming into a conjunction here in the next month that we'll want to be talking about very soon. Black Moon Lilith showing you your shadow, and the shadow in Pisces, victim energy, or energy where we don't trust in a higher power, we don't trust ourselves. So we will be, as we move out of this high energy right now, staring that particular energy right in the face, bringing ourselves into more spirituality. All right, so let's do some card readings. So I'm going to do Victoria first, and I use 2 different decks. I use the, oh, that isn't going to work. Hold, please. Shoot. I have all my books stacked up right here, and they're going to knock things over. Okay, perfect. Now, I use the Spirit Animal deck by Colette Baron-Reid, and then I also use the Woto, or Wisdom of the Oracle, also by Colette Baron-Reid. Love these decks. So I'm going to start with the Wisdom of the Oracle for you. Oops. Somehow I can't see now. There we go. This is for you, Victoria. So let's see. Well, oh, Victoria, we have a block of cards that wanted to come out. Let me see if I can refine this down for you. Victoria, where do you join us from? God bless America. Holy cow. Okay, girl. I've got to tell your guides have a lot to tell you. I don't know what's going on in your life. So I'm just going to center myself here for a second. All right, let's try this again. Like they're jumping at me, and I just want one. I want the most important card for Victoria to know about what is happening for her. And I get the Fates, 2 cards, Fates and Poised. Interesting duo. So the Fates are in protection mode, and they are number 17, which is an 8. And I get Poised, which is a number 48, which is a 12, which is a 3. So let's see what these cards have for you. Fates was the first one that popped out. So let's take a look at what that one means. And it's in protection. Oops, that's not the card. There we go. So 17, the Fates, means fate, karma, acceptance there are things that you cannot change, and knowing what those things are. And in protection, it says, it is difficult to understand why painful things happen to good people. Fate is a mystery after all. Yet what we do with our circumstances, the way in which we respond to life's challenges, is how we rise up to greet our destiny. Now is one of those times to be aware of your powerlessness to change certain situations, and surrender to acceptance. Hang in there. Life will only get better. Act as if you believe that, for the one thing you can control right now is your attitude. When you align with the fates, being mindful of what you can and cannot change, serenity will come to you. And then the second card, Poised, which acts kind of as the, where the next step or the next direction. Poised says being ready, bringing something to light, being at your best, confidence. And the message says, you can be assured that you are ready for anything right now. You know what you need to do. Your skills are sharp. You've come to this place armed with wisdom and knowledge, and you sense a new phase of your life about to begin. People respond to your confidence and trust you. This is an auspicious time to begin new things. Maybe out of the ashes of something new is potential here. And I just want to check and see. So she's in San Diego in California. Awesome. So thank you for allowing me to do a reading for you. It seems like there's some craziness going on in your life maybe, but also the potential for something great to come from that. All right. After Victoria was Jan Landry, also a new listener. And Allison, I'll put your name down. I think I might have time. Allison, who would like an animal card. Okay. So, by the way, I didn't say that to people this morning, but you can tell me which deck you prefer too. But for you, Jan, I feel like I need to pull a Wisdom of the Oracle for you. And you get Clean It Up. How very Virgo, right? Clean It Up is a card. There's a deer there or an elk. It looks like the man, the male elk or deer doing some cleaning, right? A very masculine energy of doing something. And it's card number 21. Oh, you have a second card too. Wow. Card number 28, which is Building Blocks. It is in reverse or protection. So you have Clean It Up and Building Blocks. So let's see what that means for you, Jan. The first card was Clean It Up. So let's do that one first. 21, which is a 3. I think Victoria also had a 3. So 21, Clean It Up, says, getting to the core of a situation, freedom from a burden, cleaning house, sweeping away what is no longer needed. Ever feel so bogged down with emotional gunk that you can't think straight? Could you be surrounded by physical clutter in your home also? Question mark, question mark. Too much work? Overwhelmed? Time to clean house. Every item out of place natters away at you. Every unresolved resentment, every comparison to others that leads to a sense of lack takes up energetic space. Every unpaid bill just adds up to an unnecessary feeling of being overwhelmed. Now is the time to free yourself by energetically cleaning house. Just do it. So Nike of them, right? Make room for the miracles that are lining up for you. Very good. I love Virgo energy, by the way, because it does have that feel of, just cleaning up, right? I love it. Okay, Building Blocks is card 28, and it is in protection mode. That just means it was, there's a more internal message here maybe for you. Building Blocks itself, though, means strong foundations, a beautiful work in process or in progress. Protection message says, now is the time to address the cracks in the foundations of your life. Perhaps your values have changed, and it is time to strengthen your convictions and let go of the things that no longer serve the vision you have for your life. Or perhaps you chose to ignore the signs that a situation or agreement you have entered into is not right for you. Remove the rotten pieces and reinforce your core moral strength and integrity. Now is the time for rigorous honesty, for you are called to renovate and upgrade your consciousness. You will be so happy when you do. Spirit has a spectacular blueprint for your life far beyond your imagination. Don't be afraid to replace what's not solid. Boy, both of those cards feel very Virgo, don't they? And interesting here that the word integrity comes up. Moral strength and integrity. As we move into September, one of the big news items is that Jupiter, who is in retrograde, is moving backwards into, who had been retrograde, moving back over the planets that he had been in, has now, moving forward and now back to or forward to the gate 26 in your human design, which is about integrity, being true to yourself, right? Stop being the lying to yourself or to others and really becoming yourself, you being in your own skin, being in integrity. So that's a good one. Good reminder for all of us, actually. So that is yours, Jan. It's Victoria, Jan, Debbie Hedden. Debbie, did you tell me what you wanted? Debbie, she did not. Okay, so I think for you, Debbie, I think, Debbie, I'm going to pull you a Wisdom of the Oracle as well. And by the way, I had a little chit chat with Michelle yesterday. She was actually going to try to join us in the Academy last night for the webinar, and she totally forgot about it. After she had intended to go in the morning, she totally forgot about it by the end of the day, but we forgive her because her brain is healing from the surgery. She seems to be doing pretty well. She's still in a little bit of pain, and but she's doing good. So, here and now. What is it? Everybody's getting two first today, 2 cards. So Debbie Hedden, here and now. If you look at the card, you see one signpost that says past and one that says now, or future and past. Future and past. And the second card for you was this one here, which is flexible in reverse or in protection. So we have here and now and flexible. And let's see what those cards are. By the way, here and now is a number 5. It's a 32, which is a 5. So this speaks to maybe change or movement in some way. So card 32 is being fully present in the moment and living one day at a time. The Oracle's message says, everything happens in the now, in the present. Only this moment counts. You have what it takes to handle anything today if you let go of the need to look into the future or reflect on the past. I'm chuckling because this has been like my thing over the last couple of days, Debbie. So I almost feel like sometimes it's speaking to more than just the person who thinks this reading is for them, that it's something for all of us to look at. And indeed, I kind of feel that way this morning myself. Be present and notice what is going on right now. This very moment has the potential for you to create miracles in your life. I'm going to add one more part to this called the prosperity message. What you are working on is golden, and your efforts will leave a powerful legacy. Focus not on meeting a goal in the far-off future, but on creating your dream now, releasing your desire for an outcome, and owning that it already exists. It will appear in the material world as if by magic. Claim your prosperity now. The essence is more important than the form. When you are immersed in prosperous thoughts, you automatically tune in to a sense of timelessness and unlimited potential. You can act as if, in spite of the temporary outer conditions. You are prosperous at this moment. What you think now becomes your reality. Stay present. And also, apparently, the universe wants you to be flexible. So let's look at card number 19, which is a 1, a 10, which is a 1. And the card flexible's meaning is teachability, open-mindedness, being adaptable without compromising what's most important. So let's read the reverse message here. And it says, when you or someone else become too rigid, you lose the access to growth and untapped potential and find yourself in an us versus them scenario. Loosen up, open your mind and heart, and see if a more flexible approach feels better. Rigidity will set you up for a fight where there are only losers and no winners. Could you find a way to bring about a result that is mutually beneficial? Meet in the middle. Spirit makes a great mediator. Ah, love that. Love that, love that. Let's see here. Jan, going back to Jan, says, totally makes sense for me. Thank you very much. I'm very much in the process of cleaning up my life. Just ended a 10-year relationship and ready to start fresh. Yes. Wow. Well, it would seem to be the cards are telling you about what to do for that, right? Natasha wants an oracle card. Elisa, I would love a card. All right, so let me put that down if I have time here for Elisa. And good morning, Diane Oben. Haven't seen you in a long time. It's great to see you. I did ignore too much, Jan said. I ignored red flags left and right. The relationship was definitely hitting up my integrity issues. Lynn says, interesting that you pulled card 17, Fates. I was picking a card for myself from The Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reed, also 17, which is the star card. I am hopeful and inspired by life right now, and everything that is happening points to a renewed sense of encouragement. After all the changes I have been experienced, I'm starting to recognize the hope that comes with new beginnings. This card may be for anyone else it resonates with as well. I love it. Lisa Pedro, I will put you down for a card reading as well. All right, so Deb Hedden, that last bit was for you. Colleen, it is now your turn. Colleen, I'm going to pick an animal card for you, Colleen. And maybe if we don't get what you need with that, we'll do another one. But in the meantime, let's try this. Colleen, did you tell me what cards you wanted? I don't remember seeing that. Okay, so we're going to do an animal card. And here we go for you, Colleen. And I'm going to crack up if dog comes out. I'm not sure that there is a dog on this one, but it would be fun to see. Elephant spirit. Isn't she beautiful? Or he or she? Beautiful, beautiful. It says, learn from the past. Doesn't it seem to be that the cards are talking a lot about time, past, present, future, being in the now? That seems to be a theme going on here. By the way, that is card number 25 for you, which is a 7. Okay, so 25. And we've had elephant several times lately for people, and I love it. It is such a beautiful spirit, right? That the elephant, and I just love it. And it was right side up. So here we go. Although we often wish we could leave the past behind, elephant spirit reminds us that memory matters. We must respect the wisdom of the elders who hand down to us traditions they have shaped to express our connection to each other and respect for the community. What has come before informs what we are experiencing today, and we must never forget our legacy of strength and dignity. Elephant spirit appears with the message that we are to acknowledge that which came before and learn from it. All of us are memory-based creatures, and we must revisit the past to understand where we are and where we are going. The stories of events you experienced, the stories in our collective memory, and the stories of relationships you have had can be told in many ways. What story will you tell? Elephant spirit is here to encourage you to make it one that stirs in you a sense of power and dignity. For you have honored yourself by choosing to learn from your past. Spirit rejoices at your willingness to learn and grow. Love it, love it, love it. Tell me what you think about that one, Colleen. And the next person would be for Natasha. And Natasha, I am going over to the wisdom cards for you. And Natasha are one of our people that work in the schools. So this would be maybe your last weekend of summer break, as I think school starts the 3rd or the 4th in Cedro-Woolley where you teach. So interesting, right? And you get Truth Be Told. And it is in upside down mode or protection. Is it one? No, it's 2 cards again. Truth Be Told is in protection, and the other one is the cheetah that says go the distance, right? Go the distance. Card 47, the cheetah, is an 11, and which is a 2, relationship oriented, enlightenment oriented, and the Truth Be Told is a 14, which is a 5. Let's see what those cards mean. 14. And that one was in reverse. Okay, so the essential meaning for the card 14, Truth Be Told, is honesty, accepting things at face value, coming out of denial, the willingness to be transparent, and clarity of communication. And in the protection message, it says, where are you being dishonest with yourself or others? If you're unhappy in any area of your life, look for signs of denial. This can also pertain to others being misleading or withholding or acting from hidden agendas. Now is the time to say no to dishonesty in all forms. Ask for the truth. Even if you don't like what you hear, acknowledging it will be key to a beautiful new future where you no longer labor under the heavy burdens that deceit and denial impose on you. Set yourself free. Nothing less than truth is required now. And then card 47 says, go the distance. The cheetah. Oops, got to go further back. And the essential meaning of this card, which by the way was in upright position, says endurance, strength, the long haul. To bring your dream to life, you must think long term and pay no attention to the fluctuations in the current of your experience. Joy and disappointment commingle with opportunities, so there is no need to fear the occasional obstacle. Life is not a sprint. This card is a reminder that you have endurance, strength, and fortitude to carry you all the way. Remain true to yourself. Your authenticity alone will keep you in alignment with the energy of miracles. What is yours will never be withheld from you. Remember that. That is an awesome card. All right. That would be for you, Natasha. Next would be Debbie Tibbetts, Tumiel. And looking to see, Debbie says, thank you. Wouldn't you know, I had company drop by and I missed my card. We'll review later. Oh, no. And Debbie, now I don't remember what it was, but that's okay. You can re-listen. So Debbie Tibbetts, Tumiel, did you tell me what card you want? I know Debbie likes the Woto, so I'm going to pull a Woto for her. Woto. And Debbie, one of our listeners who's in Florida, who was hit by Hurricane, what was it, Michael, last year. And luckily you're in a part of Florida, hopefully that doesn't get hit by this one. I'm praying for everybody's safety. And this is a card for you, Debbie. Mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Okay, hold on. It's the animal deck. So Debbie, you're getting an animal card now. I apologize. Picked the wrong deck for you. Aha, that's much better. And a twofer, threefer. Holy cow, you got three. Let's just make sure here we've got Sandpiper Spirit. Sandpiper upside down, which is be playful. Be playful. Maybe you've been too serious lately. And then the second card was Giraffe Spirit. See the big picture. Crane your neck up and look out around you. And that's card 29. And the Parrot Spirit is watch your words. And it is upside down. So let's dig in here. So you've got three. That's the first time I think that's happened. Here we go. Sandpiper Spirit, card 51. Be playful. But it's in reverse. Maybe you've been too serious lately. Okay, so it says, when your heart is heavy and life seems to weigh you down, Sandpiper Spirit's message is to lighten your burden by finding joy and humor in the everyday. Become like a playful child filled with curiosity and wonder, and soon you will find you feel your own spirit lift. A few minutes or hours of fun-filled delight is exactly what you need now. Enjoy the ridiculousness of life and be willing to jump in. Let your inner goof out. Let your inner goof out to express itself with abandon. I love it. The Giraffe Spirit is card 29, which is an 11. See the big picture. So Giraffe, let me get to Giraffe for you. And Giraffe says, stretch upward to reach the treetops and look down from a high vantage point. When Giraffe Spirit appears, it is a sign to observe from a higher view. In all aspects of your life, it's time to stretch your neck out and broaden your view. Open your eyes to what others need or are experiencing and see the big picture you fit into. No matter how great your wisdom, knowledge, or experience, you don't want to overlook details and connections that will help you better understand yourself and your circumstances. So stretch yourself. Look beyond what catches your attention at eye level, and know that not everything is as obvious as you might like it to be. Spirit will bestow upon you a new perspective that might make all the difference. Love that one too. Parrot Spirit in reverse, card 45, which is a 9. Watch your words. 45, going back this way now. Am I being dumb? There it is. Okay. Parrot Spirit, watch your words. Now I just disparaged myself, so I take that back. Protection message says, are you aware of what you're saying to yourself and others? Parrot Spirit shows up as a reminder to heed the words that flow from your mouth, your pen, and your keyboard. Be mindful of the beliefs you have internalized. Are they what you choose to believe? Are you communicating with integrity? Parrot Spirit wants you to listen to what you say and your motives for saying it. Right speech is called for now, which means you are called to reflect on the beliefs that have been parroted by people so often that you simply accepted them unquestioningly. Journal about what you truly believe and wish to see in the world and in your life. Write words affirming what you value, speak them aloud, expressing gratitude for what is just coming into being. Your voice has power, and you can change the conversation in your heart and in the world around you. Parrots represent the law of praise, so you are called to speak the truth and speak it with love. Great cards, Debbie. Those are great cards. And Debbie, I had this feeling while I was reading that card, and it's funny, sometimes I just tap into weird energies, and it was like a feeling, you know, when you are hungry and your stomach is empty. So it's not an altogether uncomfortable feeling. It's actually almost a feeling that leads to giddiness because you're empty. So it feels like you need to be emptying something out, maybe through your words on a page or some frustration you've been holding. But that was the feeling I got within me, was that of being emptied. So if that helps you in any way, go for it. Okay, Debbie, that's it for you. Allison wanted the animal deck. So we've got Allison, and then Elisa, and then Lisa. Lisa. And Allison, this is for you. An animal card. How are we doing time-wise? Ooh, speed it up just a titch here. Allison, are you sure you want an animal card? Ah, I see it. Wow, I don't think we've ever had this card. Electric Eel Spirit. Uranus sounding, right? It says, bring your ideas to life. And it was in reverse. So Electric Eel Spirit, bring your ideas to life. Let me turn it around the correct way so you can actually see what it looks like. Kind of a cool looking card. Lots of electrical current through the water. Let's see what this card means, because we have not ever had this one before. Bring your ideas to life in protection, which says, ideas need to percolate as they rarely download in detailed form. Gosh, it's almost like this is like reading the energy of September, because it's one of the big things that happens in September. Have you too quickly dismissed an epiphany because you couldn't see where it might lead you? Have you rushed to follow the muse without taking time to contemplate the meaning of your aha moment? Perhaps your dream will take a different form that you first imagined, morphing into something else that is even better. Spirit's plans are often hard to discern, but so much more satisfying once they have taken over from your own predetermination. Maybe your big idea is taking more time to shape than you expected. Have you considered that you are meant to learn something in the process of bringing it into being? Commit to transformation and to learning any lessons this new venture will bring, and soon you will see that your aha was even more valuable than you realized when you first felt it electrify you. That sounds so interesting to me. I would love to hear what your aha or epiphany might have been. So if you have had something like that and you want to share it, this would be a great time to do it. Debbie says she's only supposed to get rain. Good, good, good. Colleen, thank you. Elephant spirit fits. Perfect. Natasha, thank you so much. Perfect message for how to walk into this new September energy of school and my personal life's work. Latricia says she's late in joining. They resonate with you. I love it when readings resonate with everybody. Allison says, uh-oh. Excellent. Not yet. Electric eel is coming your way. All right, Allison, I love that card. I can't wait to hear, all of those planets are all in a trine. All the inner planets are in a trine with Uranus. Maybe it is yet to happen, but it sounds like it might be coming. So, it's kind of exciting. Elisa, I am going to pull a Wisdom of the Oracle for you. And unless you have a different idea, and you can tell me quickly what you might like. Lisa, or Elisa. This is for Elisa, and then we'll do Lisa. Okay, so. This is a card that's sticking to me. It's sticky, and for no good reason, but it's a great card. Card 27, Exchanging Gifts, and it's in protection, but if you look at it, in the right side up, it is this beautiful little ballerina popping up out of a box with a cat reaching out to her. Card 27 is a 9. Let's see what this card says. Exchanging Gifts. 27. Okay, this is the law of giving and receiving, currency, trade-offs, weighing costs, and determining value. And in protection, it says, be careful what you pray for because you just might get it. And then realize you don't want to face the hefty price tag that comes with it. You may find yourself in a situation you've always desired, but know you will have to walk away from or even fail at it because you can't or won't pay the dues it asks of you. If you want to be a famous musician, you have to practice your craft every day. If you want to be a millionaire, you have to be responsible for managing the money and paying the taxes. Even a windfall bears cost. It's okay, though, because Spirit will help you achieve balance over time. Another message here reminds you that being only the giver and not the receiver plays out in many relationships in your life where you find yourself in victim mode, in a codependent dynamic, or holding on to a false sense of control. Others may push you to continue to prove yourself. The time has come to distance yourself from this kind of imbalance. Being aware of the need for both give and take is the first step to your true destiny. It's all good and getting better. Not only can you handle this, but you can flourish as a result of it. Gotta love that one. Perfect. And now for Lisa Pedro, I'm going to pull Wisdom of the Oracle card for you. And yes, Allison, expect the unexpected. That would be what that card seemed to say, right? And yeah, so this one is for Lisa Pedro. And Lisa, I don't think I've ever done a card reading for you. And I do believe we've seen this card already today. Go the distance. 47 and 11, illumination and light, and also relationship oriented. Go the distance. I will reread that card, and maybe it's because it has something meaningful for all of us to hear. Card 47. Do I still 37? I got to go to 47. Go the distance. I think this was your card, Natasha. Go the distance, endurance, strength, the long haul. To bring your dream to life, you must think long term and pay no attention to the fluctuations in the current of your experience. Joy and disappointment commingle with opportunities, so there is no need to fear the occasional obstacle. Life is not a sprint. This card is a reminder that you have endurance, strength, and fortitude to carry you all the way. Remain true to yourself. Your authenticity alone will keep you in alignment with the energy of miracles. What is yours will never be withheld from you. Remember that. That's a good card. It's a good message, I think, for all of us. A good one for us to end our broadcast with this morning. And hopefully everybody got some really good information from that. It is possibly a very highly energetic weekend. Be on the lookout for good, unexpected ideas and inspiration or events. Take care when you are out there that you don't overdo things. And let's pray that Hurricane Dorian peters out before I'm not even sure if that's a he or a she name, gets to the coast of Florida. In the meantime, I wish you all a pleasant weekend. We'll see you on Tuesday morning. Mwah! Have a great one. Take care.